Hope everyone's doing well on this beautiful, fine day. I got this good-looking fellow over here. Me? No, I'm sorry. Got this good-looking fellow over here, a good friend of mine and a client. His name is Nikhil. Nair, right? Is the last name? Is that
Dyer, but it's all good. I've heard different pronunciations.
Nikhil Nair? That's such a cool name. And Nikhil's been with me for, you're going to have to correct me. I want to say probably just over 30 days now. Almost
That's
like
right.
5 weeks.
Just over a month.
And, Nikhil has an amazing story and background. And the reason I want to do his interview so quickly is I think he's had a lot of success over the course of 30 days. And I love, when I get amazing feedback from people, and I just want to share it with the world after working together. And, what I really appreciated about you, Nikhil, was you kind of did your research on me, and it was almost like, let's do it. Like, what am I waiting for? And I love that. That's how I am. It's like when I know it's right, you don't even think about it. You don't even think about the price. You just like, this is what I want to do. This is like a opportunity that I don't want to give up or pass out. And I really appreciate it about you. And the final thing I want to say before I get you to start talking is Nikhil's someone who's very teachable. Just like my interview yesterday, with who did I do with? I'm sorry.
Wait, was it Najib?
Najib. Oh my goodness. Okay. I hope you guys can tell this is a very authentic interview. Najib, and what I like about him as well is the teachability. So what I love about Nikhil is him being authentic and being very teachable with what I was teaching him and just applying it instantly. So without further ado, Nikhil, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate being here. So do you want me to give like a quick introduction or?
Yeah, cool. So kind of introduce who you are, kind of your background in engineering, where you're from, and then we'll start kind of getting into why you kind of joined the program and that process before you actually entered the Master Stutter program.
Sure, let's do it. So hello, everyone. My name is Nikhil Nair. I'm currently 25 years old, and I work as a software engineer in Boston. So I'm actually from India, and that's where I was born. I moved to Boston a couple of years ago to pursue my master's, and here I am. And so I've actually dealt with stutter or stammer for close to around 15 years now, and I've tried multiple speech therapies, and it really hasn't worked. And after like the last time I tried it, I kind of just gave up. Like my sort of way of dealing with this was to kind of push it to the back of my head and try to not think about it, hoping that it would just go away. But that's not the way to like fix your problems. You can't run. I mean, you can only like run away from your problems for so long before they start to come back at you. So I saw this ad for Daniel's program on Instagram one night. It was pretty late, like around 11:30. And I was curious because like I've done lots of research myself on how to like get better at speaking or like sort of fix my stammer. And I was curious, like maybe like this guy has something different to say. I mean, like what's the worst that could happen? So I clicked on your link, and then you had like a 40-minute video. I watched the whole thing, and what really struck out to me was that you weren't trying to sort of teach speech techniques. You're trying to sort of get to the underlying problem, which is what most people who have a stammer is, or like the problem that most people with a stammer have is that they have like a really bad lack of self-confidence. So treating that underlying problem is what's going to really help people to like sort of break out of that pattern. So seeing that really got me fascinated about the program, and then I booked the call right away, like at like midnight or something. I don't know. It's pretty late.
Well, I think you also saw I made a post in a Facebook group, and I think you saw also the way I respond to all the comments. I don't know if
yes. Right. So I saw like on your ad, people were like sort of like not being too positive with your ad. They were like, "This doesn't work," and and you sort of got back to them saying like, "Hey, like ask me any question that you have about the program. I'll be happy to answer it." So it showed that you had a lot of confidence in your program. And like one more big factor for me is that you did have a stammer as well. So all this while with speech therapists and stuff, none of those people actually had to deal with having a stammer. So they don't really understand like the sort of mental trauma almost of having to like deal with a stammer, which you did. So you know the process, you know the pain, and you know how you broke out of it. So like when you give advice, like it's like a lot more valuable to me than someone else giving advice because they don't really know what I've been in, like the shoes I've been in. But yeah,
And you sound very great right now too.
thank you.
You sound
Appreciate it.
awesome. So kind of talk about so obviously it was almost like I remember we had our first call and you were like, okay, let me think about it. I just gotta look at my finances right now. And
Yep.
then I'm like, okay, we'll see, we'll see what happens. And then I think you sent me an email like 20 minutes later. You're like, yeah, let's do it. I'm good to go.
Right. So, I mean, like when you first told me the price. So, I mean, like let me like sort of go back a couple of steps. So, one thing that I like liked about the interview is that you didn't just like straight away go ahead like say, hey, this is the program, this is the price. If you want to join, join. Like you asked me a lot of questions about myself, whether I actually wanted to change, to like really figure out whether I really wanted to change from within. And like you like sort of got into like sort of deep details about what I've tried, why I feel it hasn't worked and why I wanted to like kind of join the program. And like only after I answered all those questions did you say like, hey, like, okay, I've got what you need. And like if you want to do it, then this is what like this is what you have to do. This is the amount. And the amount definitely did like sort of take me back because this would have been the biggest purchase I ever made in my life with my own money. So I mean, like most people don't really like drop that amount of money without thinking twice. So I had to like sort of take a step back just to sort of reevaluate and make sure that this is what I wanted to do. And then, so I spent a bit more time watching some of the testimonials, and I could see how well people were speaking. And these people did have stammers before, and that kind of like sort of like got me thinking that this is like pretty much what I need. And by putting this amount of money and sort of investing in myself, like I would push myself to really get the most out of this program because it is by far the biggest purchase I made in my life. So it's like almost pushing me like to sort of get better at speaking. But yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm very big. Like I've made even bigger purchases and I'm not that I'm proud of that. I'm very big on, when someone not just talks the talk, but also walks the walk, it shows how serious. So what was just even talking about that? What was your mindset of like, all right, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna just like what was that switch in your head of like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Like what happened specifically? And I'm always curious about that.
So the question I had to ask myself is how much do I really want it? And how much do I value fluent speech? Like if I were to like sort of be given like some sort of tablet, which would like instantly cure stuttering or stammering, which is not possible. But if it was, how much would I value that particular thing? And I thought that like over time, having fluent speech or having like better self-confidence would sort of open up so many doors for me that I would get back that value that I'm sort of putting into myself like multiple times over. So for me, it made sense. I just had to like think about it a bit more clearly and a bit more deeply. But yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I'm glad you get that. I'm a not that I'm a business guy, but I'm very big on what is the ROI. So if I were to invest this much money, what is my ROI? And maybe not in the first week, but
Right.
let's say a year, hypothetically, let's say a year, let's say 5 years. And I think you kind of hit that on the nail, like having fluent speech. What opportunities are you missing out on not having fluent speech? What is it costing you? That's always a big question. What is it costing you to not have fluent speech or confident speech or confidence in yourself? So I love that, man. I'm getting inspired over here. I hope you guys are getting inspired too. I'm not looking at the comments right now. I'll see you later, but love the way you think. I'm always choosy with who I want to work with too. And as soon as the way you responded, I'm like, this is the type of guy that I want to invest more into as well. So let's kind of talk about that. So it's been about 30 days. What's kind of been the biggest one? So talk about speech therapy because you have experience with speech therapy, and talk about what's different about what I do with people.
Right. So I've gone through speech therapy about three or four times, and it's like been over the course of like 10 years, like multiple short sort of periods of like speech therapy. And so what speech therapy does, or what the whole science behind speech therapy is, or like what I've seen is that it's mostly hacks. It's like stuff like hum the first syllable of a word, or like breathe deeply before you start saying stuff, or sing like make your words or like your sentences into like sort of songs. It's all just kind of like stuff to trick your brain into believing that you have fluent speech. You aren't really sort of getting down into the problem, which is self-confidence. And that's what this program is doing. Like you aren't like this isn't speech therapy. It's almost life coaching in a way, I feel. That's how I would put it for me personally. Because I feel that like to become fluent, confident speakers tend to be fluent because they have like the confidence in them. They believe in themselves and they are confident in what they say. So through this program, like one of the biggest changes I've had is quite a drastic shift in mindset. Before joining this program, I had like lots of negative thoughts. I used to always be in my head. I used to kind of like shy away from like social situations because I was always worried about what people thought about me or whether I would mess up speaking somehow. But over the last 30 days, I have a much more positive outlook in life, and it's resulted in better friendships, better experiences in general. I've been pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and it's just like opened so many new opportunities, which I probably wouldn't have had if I didn't have like this sort of like confidence boost, if you could say. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's the biggest win I've had from the program, and like it's just been 30 days. I'm like barely halfway through it.
That's
Yep.
awesome. So what's kind of been, give us some like real life scenarios, because I love real life tangible scenarios that we can kind of look at that have happened over the last 30 days that might have not happened before.
Sure. So I play a lot of soccer. I'm a huge soccer fan. So I play a lot of like pickup soccer games, and usually like when I would go for these games, I would try my best not to talk to anyone. Like I would just go there, play the game, and like go back home, trying to like make sure I had like as little social interaction as I possibly could. But now when I'm like going for these games, I'm trying to actively talk to people. I want to like learn about other people. I want to get to know them better, and I'm also more positive when I'm sort of talking to people. And what that like sort of happens. So one of the things which you teach is that what you put out in the world is what you get back. So if you're a positive person, if you also like sort of push people out, like push other people forward and like sort of help them out, they will be more inclined to help you out. And I'm not saying that you should like go into every interaction like sort of expecting them to like give you back something, but if you are positive as a person, you will sort of reap the benefits. So just being more positive, playing soccer has like sort of been great. Like I've had better experiences playing the game. I feel better when I play the game, and it's just nice to have that sort of social interaction with like strangers. Yeah.
Awesome. It's awesome. And a lot of people might listen and be like, "Oh, he's just, it's all about confidence." Like, okay, we get it, but like to be positive. What do you mean by that? Because a lot of people will overthink that and think it's just being positive.
Right.
Because I think and even talk about, I think there's certain beliefs you might have let go. Like I talk about this idea of like breaking the old identity. Kind of talk about this more in depth, because really I think a byproduct, and you kind of added this, is a more fluent speech. So when like talk about your thoughts during the day, talk about how you look at situations, like give us something, because I think changing the beliefs, and I don't know if you might agree that you have a different identity, but I
Sure.
think that the shift in identity and beliefs you have really made an impact in your speech.
Right. So like the whole thing about being positive, being confident, it's stuff that I've heard before for sure, multiple times. Everyone says it, like be positive, spread positivity. But it's like honestly, it really does make a difference. And it's only when you start like really use these sort of like tips and advices, there's like do you actually start to see the benefits? And what I mean by that is like so that the way that the human mind works is that we kind of sort of focus on the negative aspects of our life and kind of dwell on it. I feel like that's what's like that's just what people do naturally. But if you start to focus on the positive aspects, if you are your biggest fan, like so if you aren't your biggest fan, why would you expect anyone else to be a fan of you? So
Mm,
it's crucial that you always are positive towards yourself. Like your inner monologue should be positive. Like don't put yourself down. Because when you put yourself down, you're gonna feel bad. And that's gonna like sort of like seep into your subconscious. And that'll like sort of make things worse for you. Like, for example, like in terms of speech. So say like I messed up on a word. Now like my mind is playing that whole scene over and over again when there's really no need for it because it's just like I'm sort of trying to punish myself for messing up on a word, and everyone messes up on words. No one is like a perfect speaker.
mhm.
So it's really crucial that like you focus on the positive aspects, and when you do something well, you should recognize that you done it like at least in your head, so that'll make you more confident. That'll make you a better person in general. Just being more positive to yourself first, and then like by being more positive to other people as well.
Yeah, cool, man.
Yep.
I love that. Now, I get a question a lot of community. Like, how is the community? What is it like? Talk about that. Talk about the our private Facebook group. Like, I think people overthink, oh, it's just a Facebook group or just a coaching call. Like, talk about the calls and talk about, because I always talk about, like, if you want to be successful, you got to be around other people that are very ambitious, you're on the same journey. Um, or if you want to get better, you want to be around others that kind of push you. So kind of talk about the idea of like the coaching calls and the Facebook community, and if it's helped you. I mean, if it hasn't, you can just tell me. But kind of talk about that.
Yes, it absolutely has, and it's a pretty tight knit community. It's not like there's no like 500 people in the group. There's like 35 to 40 people, so it's a pretty small group, and everyone in that group has the same goal. Like even if they don't stammer, they want to become confident versions of themselves. And one of the things which you teach is that like you're like the average of your five closest friends, or basically you become like the people like you become similar to the people who you are around, essentially. So it's crucial that you are around people who also have similar goals to you, because it pushes you to also get to your goals faster. And also it's honestly kind of cool to see people getting better at their speech over time, like through the program, because that kind of like motivates you. Because if that person can do it, so can you. Because like you're all on this path together, but you're just at like sort of different sort of sections or different sort of parts in this journey, like different points in the journey. But yeah, honestly, it's like a great bunch of highly motivated people, and I think having that group of people who are constantly trying to like push each other forward definitely helps. And I feel like the progress is like a lot better like having this group rather than having just like one coach talking to you and trying to coach you. And in fact, I've learned tips from people who aren't you, like people on the like the public speaking calls. I've learned tips and tricks which have actually helped me. So like honestly, it's like having multiple coaches. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, listen, it's only been 30 days. And one more question too. The idea of a coach, like these, again, people can be like, oh, this is so basic. Yeah, be positive. Yeah, I get it. Cool, man. Talk about the value of accountability in coaching, because I think a lot of people overthink this. I always talk about, if Michael Jordan, who was the best basketball player in the world at the time, had a coach, like, what's your excuse? Or, you know, um, really everything in life. I think there's too many people want to figure it out by themselves. Talk about the value of having the coach and keeping you accountable and consistent, and why that's so vital to growth. Because I think this is one of the biggest setbacks that people face that they might not be able to see.
Yeah, this is actually like a topic I feel really passionate about. So honestly, coaches make such a big difference. Any top athlete in the world has had a really good coach. Like in terms of soccer, like say Messi, like Leo Messi, even though he's one of like the most technically gifted players ever in the history of the game, he's had like really top level coaches which have pushed him to like the next level. He probably wouldn't have reached like the levels and like he probably wouldn't have broken all the records he did so far if he didn't have those coaches pushing him to get to the next level. And even if you sort of break it down to like normal people like us, uh, like say if you want to go to the gym and sort of like get fitter or like build some muscle, doing it by yourself, like you'll get there slowly. But having a personal trainer or a coach pushing you, like having you come to the gym often or like eating correctly, that really makes a big difference. You will get to your goals much quicker than you would without a coach or a personal trainer. For me, for example, I felt that I was slowly getting better at my speech, mostly due to the fact that due to work, I had to give presentations. So I was being put into multiple situations where I was put outside of my comfort zone. But I just didn't realize that was what was happening. But having a coach to kind of tell me this is the part you're gonna do. These are things which you have to do to get better at your speech. That helps a lot because now I'm like a lot more focused. I want to get what I want to do, and having a coach just pushes you to the next level, and you get to the next level like a lot faster. So for me, having a coach is just super important.
Cool. I love it, man. Listen, I have multiple coaches, and you can call them coaches or mentors or in school professors, like whatever the case is, or TAs. It's having someone who is a couple steps ahead of you so they can pull you. To me, that is the real secret into life. And unfortunately, that costs money. But you gotta understand too, man, when you pay for something, you're like, I better get my money's worth, and having that fire under your ass,
Yeah.
or whatever, your butt, uh, is something that unfortunately you can't really get unless you put something into it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Like money is actually one of the biggest motivators in life, and it's like money spent as well is big motivator because you want to get your value, you want to get your money's worth. So I can definitely see the value in that.
Listen, I've coached many people for free, and I'm like, did you not remember this? Oh no, sorry. Or it's like, oh, sorry, I can't. It's just, to me, it's there has to be equal from other sides. So anyway, not the point. Nikhil, I am very honored to be part of your journey, and I love seeing all your growth. And I know this is just the beginning, and I know we'll probably do one in a couple more months or at the end of it in 6 months. So, Nikhil, is there any last words that you want to give to the audience or anyone who stutters or who, because some people might look at you and be like, "Oh, you never had a bad stutter, Nikhil. You sound great. You're lying to me." What words would you have for those people?
So I can tell you for sure that I did not have fluent speech. I was bullied in school because of a stammer, and that really had like a lot of like a lasting impact on me. But like now I'm speaking fairly well, I know, but that doesn't really take away from like the struggles I've been through in life. And if you are someone who has a stutter and you're like watching this, speech techniques can like only get you so far. What you need to focus on is your self-confidence. I wish someone told me this before, but now I know. So, like find someone, or like whether it's this program or something else, but you need to work on your self-confidence. That is the key to breaking out of this sort of vicious cycle of stuttering.
Yeah, buddy. I love it. Listen, I think that's great. I'll look at it if we have any comments. I don't know if we do. But Nikhil, I'm just going to probably just end it off at this and say you are thebomb.com and appreciate you. And we'll see you very soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Dan. All right, see you.